Welcome back to our supplementary reader classes. Before beginning the class, I would like to tell you something. Previously, we had been learning things. The first lesson had been taught from Honeysuckle book, and today we are going to learn from the other book of English, that is Supplementary Reader. In this book, we have most of the lessons are stories which has moral in that. Every story has a moral, and that we should use properly. Now, I'll be explaining you this lesson, and I hope you will be interested to listen this story. Now, it is about a tale of two birds. What do you mean by tale? A tale means a small story. Meanings. You write now. While explaining, I will tell you the meanings of you to understand fast. That is tale. Means it's a story or tale means story, a small story. Tale means a small story. A small story or a short story. Now here, this lesson begins with three birds, but in the beginning itself, the mother bird dies here, so she is not given much importance in this story, but the baby birds are given importance, and thus begins the lesson. Here, a mother bird and her two young ones lived in a forest. It's only an introduction for you. Then later the explanation will come. The mother was killed in a storm and the young birds were separated from each other. Each found a different home. Now here, it says, there once lived a bird in a nest and her two newborn babies in the forest. They lived in a tree in a nest, and one day it was very rainy day with thunder and lightning, and the wind blew these birds away from the trees, and many trees fell down due to the thunder and lightning, and the storm or the very strong wind blew these birds into the other side of the forest. Fortunately for the baby birds, the strong wind blew them away to the other side of the forest. Now, both of them fell down from this tree and they went, and the wind blew them away to the other side of the forest. Whereas their mother died in that nest itself when a strong branch of the same tree fell on the nest. And now when they fell to the other side of the forest, they were very small and they did not know what to do. One fell onto the other, one side, and the other one fell on the forest. They were separated from each other. So when they landed in a place, the first one landed in a place where a gang of robbers lived. Near a cave where a gang of robbers lived, and the second one fell or got a place near a Rishi's ashram. Now what happened to them both? How did they behave there, and what was their behavior like in the end? That is what we are going to learn here. Now, as I said you, or as I told you, the first bird, when it fell down beside the cave of robbers, what would be its behavior? And when the second bird fell down to the place of Rishi's ashram, how should be its behavior? That is what we are going to learn here. Now, days passed and the baby birds became big birds. One day, now so many days after, bigger, and they were able to understand many things. And now it happened one day. The king of that country had come to the forest for a ride, and actually he had come for a hunting, because those days people had, it was a hobby for them and they used to come for hunting. And now he saw a deer in the forest and he followed the deer. The deer ran faster than the king in front, and it ran and ran and ran so fast that the king lost his way in the forest. Now the king was tired, even though he was riding on the horse, he was very much tired. And now what happened? He thought he would stay under a tree for some time, he will take rest under a tree, and he tied his horse on a tree which was beside, and he sat under that tree. After some time, he heard a voice crying out, "Quick, hurry up! There is someone under the tree. Come and take his jewels and his horse. Hurry, or else he will slip away." Now what happened, do you know? Very clearly he heard the bird saying to somebody. He heard a voice speaking to somebody. Then he saw that it was a cave of robbers. There were so many robbers living in a cave. And this bird was giving information to the robbers that here there is a person seated under the tree. He is sleeping now. You can come and take away his jewels and his horse. You can steal or you can rob. When he heard this, the voice was not so clear, but still he heard that somebody is going to kill him or do something bad to him. Slowly he got up from there and rode away as fast as he could. He ran away from that scene. He didn't want to be there because he wanted to save his life, and he ran away. He took his horse and rode very fast, and he went to the other side of the forest. Actually, he was lost in the forest and he didn't know the kingdom. Now, he came to the place where there was an ashram of a rishi. The king tied his horse to a tree and sat down in its shade. Suddenly, he heard a gentle voice. Suddenly, he heard a gentle voice. Gentle, a kind voice, a good voice. He heard. What was that good voice that he heard? It was soothing. It was soothing his mind. He felt very happy to hear these words. What was that? Now, welcome to the ashram, sir. Please go inside and rest. The rishi will be back soon. There is some cold water in the pot. Please make yourself comfortable. The king looked up and saw a big brown bird in the tree. Now he heard some soothing words or some soothing sentences like, "Please come inside the house, take rest. There is some water in the pot. You can drink that and you can be comfortable there." Now the king looked at one bird in the tree. He saw another bird in that tree. One bird already he had seen in the forest. Near a gang of robbers were living. Now here he saw another bird talking to him very gently, asking him to come. The bird was inviting him inside the Rishi's ashram to take rest until the Rishi comes, because the Rishi was not there in the house. But the bird invited the people who came to visit there, and it made everybody happy by giving them some water or something. Now he was amazed. The king was amazed, means the king was surprised. The king was surprised, amazed in sense. He was surprised or wondered. Now, this one looks like the other bird outside the cave, he said to himself loudly. Now, when he saw this bird, he said, "Oh, this bird looks like the other bird when what I saw. My God, maybe these two are brothers or sisters, who knows?" Now, you are right, sir, the bird said, because the bird heard this, what the king spoke there. Now he is my brother, but he has made friends with robbers. The bird was true to his words. The bird told this king, "O king, what you said was correct, because he is my own brother. But as he fell in the company of the robbers, he had spoken to you like that. He had been with the robbers since he was a small baby bird. Now, he now talks as they do. He doesn't talk to me anymore. The bird has not seen this bird. The other bird had not seen this bird, or they had not talked for a very long time. Now, it so happened that by the time the Rishi entered the ashram, now what happened? As soon as he saw the king, he was very happy that because this one bird had made this Rishi or this king, this bird has made this king to sit in the Rishi's ashram. Now he said, "Welcome, sir," he said to the king. "Please come inside and make yourself comfortable. You feel that this is your home. You look very tired. You will rest for a while, then you can share my food." He said, "You can share my food. I have made a little food, and this food we both can share." Now, the king told the Rishi. Now, the king was very happy to talk to the Rishi about these two birds whom he had met on his way. Now, this bird had made him comfortable. He felt very happy in his mind because he had been invited and made to sit peacefully and happily in the Rishi's ashram. So now the king also felt very happy to speak to the Rishi about what had happened to him, all this on the way, what he had practiced. Now, the forest is full of surprises, he said. The holy man, then the king told him, "Sir, this forest is, one is living in the company of the Rishi." My God, he could not, what I'll say, sir, his feelings on this bird was really great. Now the holy man smiled and said, "After all, one is known by the company he keeps." What did he say? He said, what did he say? He said, one is known by the company. One is known by the company, one keeps. What do you mean by this? This means one is known by the company, one keeps means if you are in the company of bad people, you will do only or speak only bad things or bad words. Now here, these two birds have two different characters, two different behavior. What is that? One is bad and one is good. What did the first bird do here? He wanted the people who were sitting under the tree to be robbed by the robbers. But the second bird invited the guests who came to the Rishi's ashram to take rest in the Rishi's ashram and make themselves comfortable by taking or getting a glass of water from the pot and drink. Now, here itself we can make out the two different behaviors of these two birds. Here we learn that if you are also included in the bad company, you will also do bad things or you will speak bad words. But if you are in the company of good people or good friends, obviously you will be doing good to others, helping your parents, helping your friends, helping your teachers. You will have a good tendency to do many good things. That is what we learn here. Now, that bird has always heard the talk of robbers. The first bird had been hearing only the talk of the robbers about stealing somebody, about robbing somebody, about taking out somebody or killing somebody. This is what it was in his mind, because he had no other way at all, because he was in the company of bad people, robbers. Now, the second bird had been repeating the same words what the Rishi was talking to others. He was always hearing good words. He was always hearing the better words or the betterment or the good words the Rishi spoke to the people who came there. Now, he said he welcomes people to the ashram. You come inside and rest. Now the Rishi invited him. He asked him, now standing here and talking is not good. Now you please come inside. As you see, if a guest comes to your house, you will also open the door when you hear a knock and you will invite them inside. Please come and sit. My mother is inside the kitchen. I will just call her and we will give a call. Amma, somebody has come to us. Like that. Then he said, now you come inside and rest. I will speak to you about some more things and about this place and these birds. And now what do we learn from this story is, we have always to be in good company. We should see that we are not falling into bad company. For you, if you are good, everything will come good to you. That is what we are learning from this lesson. Yeah. Now, how did the two baby birds get separated? Can you tell me the answer? Separated when a heavy rain and a thunder and lightning came in the forest. It was a heavy rainy day and it was much lightning and strong wind and heavy rains in the forest, and that made them to fall down from the nest, and their mother was killed and they fell to two different places to the other side of the forest. Now, where did each of them find a home? Can you tell me? Yes. One of them found a home in a tree where a gang of robbers lived in a cave. The robbers were living in a cave beside a tall tree. In that tree, the first bird found a shelter. Everybody has shelter of their own. We have houses and sand hills. Wild animals have forests, open forests to live. Thus, this bird once to the other side of the forest and it could not find a house. So, it itself found a house or a home in the tree. Now, and the second one found a home in a tree near Rishi's ashram where he always heard only good speech. The Rishi was always speaking good to other people. That was heard by this bird, and the bird continued the same because he was in the company of good people. And he heard good and he did good. Do you understand, my children? Now, what did the first bird say to the stranger? Did the first bird say something to the stranger? No. The first bird didn't say anything to the stranger at all because the first bird had spoken to the robbers about stealing people, about robbing the king and his horse and his jewels. So we know that this bird had not spoken anything to the stranger, but he was speaking to the robbers to come and steal and his horse. Now, what did the second bird say to him? Now, what did the second bird say to him? The second bird said to the same king was there for the second bird also. Now, what did the second bird speak to the king? The second bird spoke very politely, very gently, in a very polite words, kind words to this king. Please come inside the ashram. You take rest and you feel comfortable by drinking some cold water from the pot. Now, how did the Rishi explain the different ways in which the birds behaved? The Rishi, what was the Rishi's explanation to the king about the behavior of these two birds? As the king told him the reasons, the Rishi could understand everything, what had happened to the king, and the Rishi convinced him or consoled him by saying that one is known by the company one keeps. That shows the first bird found a home in a cave where some robbers lived, and he was always listening all bad things or bad words what they used about killing and robbing and other things. Whereas the second bird was living with the Rishi and he was always listening to the good words or the good deeds done or spoken by the Rishi. Now, this is what the Rishi explained, that both of them had two different behaviors. Now, which one of the following sums up the story best? Now, which moral would suit this lesson? That is what we are going to say. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush? No. One is known by the company one keeps. A person is known by the company he keeps. Now, a friend in need is a friend indeed? No. This will also not suit. One is known by the company one keeps. That is what the moral we learn. Now, there are some other stories which tells you about a friend in need is a friend indeed. That is, there was once a dove living in a tree, and there was an ant who was his friend. This ant used to come to a riverside and it used to drink water from there. And this dove was observing this ant, and they became friends. Now, one day what happened? This ant was drowning. It fell into the river and it was drowning. The dove felt very pity on this ant, and he took a leaf. He picked one leaf from the tree and he put it down. The leaf was floating in water, and the ant climbed down to this leaf and he was saved. Now, they both were very happy. Every day again he started coming to drink this water. And see, hunters are there in the forest, because hunters, they hunt these birds from the forest, they take it home and they fry it and they eat it. Or they burn it in fire. And there was a hunter who used to come in search of birds to hunt and take home. Now, one day it was an afternoon time, and this hunter saw this dove sitting on the tree, and he was very happy to see this bird. He aimed at this dove. As this ant was watching all these things from a distance, slowly he came to the hunter, and he came to know that the hunter will kill the bird now. So an idea came to his mind. He thought that the other day when I was drowning in the river, this bird had helped me. He saved me. That's why today I am alive here. Now it's my time, or it's my chance to from this hunter. And now what did he do? Do you know, my children? He slowly bit him on his anklet. He bit him on his leg. Suddenly, he lost his aim, and the gun fell down from his hand, and he was unable to do anything. By the time the dove came to know that something is wrong going to happen to him, and he flew away from there. Then he came to the ant. They spoke, both of them had a very good friendship, and that is what is said. A friend in need, a friend indeed. Okay, for today's class, I hope everybody understood the class. If I have not understood, once again, when I give you the question answers on the board, then also I will explain to you. Once again, these explanations will be done and the question answers will be given to you. Thank you. Have a good time. Bye.